Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how to use the Export Slides group in the Timesavers 3 tab of the Timesavers add-in. So the Export Slides group allows you to export any slides that you want to, not necessarily all the slides. You can select whichever slides you want and export them as images, as separate images, to a folder that will be created. Okay, so basically what you can do is you can go over here and you can choose if you want to export the slides as PNG or JPEG. So whichever one you choose is the way it's going to be exported. So if I decide I want to export the slides 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then I'll also export slide 10, just because. Okay, so those are the slides that I have selected. Now when I click on this, it is set to PNG at the moment. So when I click on here, it will now ask me about the resolution that I want to export it at. So depending on your version of PowerPoint, there may be limitations to the size of the images that can be exported while still keeping the image looking right. You can play around with it. On the version of PowerPoint that I have, I can export slides at a high resolution, so I could export it at 600 if I wanted, or even higher, and the images would look fine. But if you have an older version of PowerPoint, sometimes they have a limit of 3000 pixels, and then you get a problem if you try and export a slides at a higher resolution than that. So if that is the case, then the default value that is filled in over here will give you the best resolution that you can while still keeping it under the 3000 pixel limit. Okay, but I've now filled in 600, and that is the resolution that my slides will be exported at. So I can click OK. And now it's asking me what I want to call the folder that I'm going to be putting my files into. So if you're working on a PC, then the folder will be created inside the folder that the file that you're working on is currently saved in. So it'll ask you what you want to call the folder. I am going to name my folder Exported Slides 1, and then I'm going to click OK. And now it's exporting those slides. Okay, so now when I go to my folders, I'll see over here that I now have a new folder that's called Exported Slides 1, and if I open that folder, you'll see those are the slides that I selected, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 10. Okay, so now I can close that, or I can go back to my PowerPoint, and then I can choose a different option. So, before I do that though, let me just quickly go back over here and let me just show you. So if I open one of these and go and look at the information, you can see that the resolution is 600 dpi. That's what I set it to. But like I said, if you have an older version of PowerPoint, it may have a problem with you exporting slides that have such high pixel sizes. So you may need to limit it to the default that is filled in on that pop-up window that comes and asks you what resolution that you want, because that should prevent you having problems with your slides while still being able to have the highest resolution possible. Okay, so I'm going to just close that. Okay, so now if you wanted to export JPEGs instead, then obviously you can do that, and I will just go and export 3, 5, 7, 8, and 9. So now I'm going to export, and this time I'm going to keep it as the default. So I'm going to click OK, and here I will call it Exported. Now if I try and name it the same thing as I named the previous folder, I get another message saying that there's already a folder with that name that exists. Please choose a different name for the folder that I'm going to be using. So I'm going to choose Exported Slides 2. And then when I go over here, you can see now I've got my JPEGs that have been exported. So these ones over here were PNGs, and these ones over here are JPEGs. And if I open it and I go and look at the information, then you can see over here the resolution is 272, and that has ensured that this is under that 3000 pixel limit. Okay, so that is how you use the exporting, or the Export Slides group of the Timesavers 3 tab of the Timesavers add-in. Just one thing, if you are working on a Mac, then like I said, for a PC, the folder will be created in the folder that contains this file. But if you are working on a Mac, then I'm unable to access that folder. So the folder that it gets saved into will be in a special sandboxing area of your computer. So you can go and find out how to access that and get to your pictures in the PDF file that has all the information about how to use this add-in as well. I can't show that to you because I don't have a Mac, but the information is there for you, so you can go and follow the instructions so that you can get to that folder where the slides will be exported to. Right, I hope you have a fantastic day. Thank you. Goodbye.